We'll start the meeting. Okay, great. All right, let's get the meeting started. This is our regular meeting of the Cape Coral Charter School Governing Board, Tuesday, February 14th, 2023, at Oasis Middle School, 5:30-ish. If we could have a moment of silence. Thank you. And if we could stand for a pledge of allegiance.
Present arms.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Arms. Right face. Forward. March. All left. March.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Love these seats.
Better make this quick.
If we could have roll call.
Chair Minaya.
Present.
Vice Chair Rodriguez Dehan.
Present.
Ataselli.
Present.
Campbell.
Present.
Jackson.
Present.
Long.
Present.
Says.
Yes.
Paired Representative Hoagland. Hoagland. Absent. Excused.
Great. All right, thank you. We have a quorum. And now if we can entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, how about our motion for approval of our agenda?
Again, motion to move item 13A, staff comment, our students, to item 9A, superintendent's report. Oh, and approve the regular governing board agenda, February 14th, 2023, as presented. Good job.
All right. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, great. Well, now we have our public comment, and we allocate 3 minutes per individual, up to 45 minutes for public comment. So if anybody would like to make a comment, we have our podium here to my right, and you have up to 3 minutes to make a comment. All right, seeing none, we'll move on. Now for the consent agenda. And Superintendent Collins, anything you'd like to share about the consent agenda before?
Good evening, Board. Jackie Collins, Superintendent. On the consent agenda, we are asking for the approval of all teachers at all 4 schools that are out of field. There are some times when assigned duties in a class that are assigned to a teacher that are outside of the field of their certification. The following teachers are working towards their certification so that they are no longer out of field. And that's what these 4 letters are all about.
Maybe, could we repeat that?
How's that?
Better.
Okay, we're asking that the board approve the out-of-field teachers. There are some teachers at all 4 schools that are not certified in the field in which they are teaching. They have a requirement to meet those certifications within a year's time. If they are out of field in ESOL, they have an extended amount of time to meet those 600 hours. 600 hours of 300 hours of certification requirements. So we'd ask the board if you could please approve the teachers that are currently out of field.
Great. So we entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Hello? Yes, if we can make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Any discussion?
Questions? I'd just like to know, how many teachers are we talking about?
Well, it's, let's see, it's in your packet.
More than 10, less than 50?
It's really a handful per school.
Okay.
We have the most at the high school, because the high school, we tend to hire brand new teachers in a variety of different areas that require different certifications.
Okay, any further questions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And now we have the superintendent's report.
Thank you. I would like to start with our school at hand that's going to give their staff report, and I'd like to introduce Donnie Hopper, principal, Oasis Middle School.
All right, I'm gonna try this one since it's brand new. I want to see if it works. All right, Donnie Hopper, principal at Oasis Middle School. Thank you all for being here and joining us. Wanted to give more of a presentation that allows students to be active and participating in this. So the first clip you're gonna see up here is from our TV production crew. So we have a new TV production studio. It is the same studio that Mrs. Gressick has over at OES, and they're going to be getting it OEN so that we can build the program from our kids in elementary up to middle school. It is state of the art. It is not a toy. It's really, really high quality equipment, and it gives kids the opportunity to see what that field would be like down the road if they choose to go in that area in high school, and of course in college and beyond. So quick clip on TV production, then I'll stop, and then we have some sponsors of clubs that we run that'll come up and have some students to talk to you and give you some information. Here is TV production.
Good morning, welcome to GTV. I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Sophia. Today is Monday, February 13th. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
We lay down back into the 80s by Tuesday and remain in the 80s for the
Thanks, Chloe. Attention 8th graders. Please make sure you are making your final payment for Universal Studios.
Attention 8th graders.
This is what the students see in their class.
Cool.
This Friday, February.
We have outdoors next week.
And then more behind the scenes. The cue cards are prepared daily each morning just before the kids get in. And they run it. They run the equipment, they run the mixer board, the sound board, everything. Let me stop for a second. And I want to say that I also saw Miss Gressick's kids in action in 5th grade doing the exact same thing. So we're starting early, and it's a really cool program. So congratulations to our kids and to Miss Tolman and Miss Madden for taking on that group. Also to Mr. Pulowski, who was instrumental in getting it going and getting it started. Next up, I want to bring up Miss Kepke. Miss Kepke is the sponsor for one of our amazing clubs. Sure, come up either way. One of our amazing after-school clubs. Clubs is a big part of what we do in middle school, especially here at OMS. And the gardening club is super, super popular. So Miss Kepke, come around, I'll give you the mic. And as you're talking, you'll see some pictures running in the background of some of the work they do. The garden, if you don't know, is right behind this cafeteria. You're welcome to check it out after this meeting. Here is Miss Kepke.
Hi, I am Andrea Kepke, and I teach social studies here and also garden club. So I know the garden's been here 5 years?
I think you're right.
5 years, and each year it gets a little bit better. Most recently, Mr. Gary just came and redid all of our boxes for us. So it wasn't just the hurricane that kind of leveled things out, it was just the normal wear and tear of environment. But you can see, all boxes are brand new now, except for one, and we don't want to have it anymore, so we're just going to clean up that area. But we have bananas, we have 3 kinds of spinach, we have a ton of new herbs that Miss Sophia actually just put in yesterday that are still growing. We have chives, and so everything that is there, we are eating and we take home almost every single meeting. So we meet twice a month usually. Some months end up being 3 months depending on how it falls on the calendar. But it's a lot of fun, and everyone that comes there is always excited to be there. So that's actually really nice to see that after school. And this is Miss Sophia. She is our biggest advocate for Garden Club.
My name is
Real close, real close, point right here now.
My name is Sophia Segovia. I'm a sixth grader here at OMS, and I'm here today.
Hold for a second. I'm gonna give you one that's easy.
There you go.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Good?
Okay, sure.
See how great she is? She even said thank you to Mr. Always like that.
I am up here today to talk about Garden Club and some of the things we do at Garden Club. One of the things that we do daily is we harvest our plants and deweed the garden to keep it healthy. Just recently we actually cleaned off the walkway because it was very dirty because kids don't know how to keep it clean apparently. Some of the things we grow here, most of them are edible, like spinach, lettuce, potatoes, carrots, bananas, pineapples, so on and so forth. Almost everything that is there is edible, and kids can take them home if they would like. Personally, I really like the spinach, so every time I come, I get some for me and my family. One of my favorite parts about Garden Club is seeing how the plants do, and every other day I go out there to PE, and just recently we made this lettuce tower, or it has some stuff on it. I actually don't know what it has on it. I don't know what it has on it. But it always makes me very eager to walk by it every day so I can see what is on there and how it's been doing. I really enjoy Garden Club, and I encourage everybody, all of my friends who can and would like to come and just give it a shot. And if they want to, if they like it, they can come and join.
So proud. Donations?
All right, thank you to Ms. Kepke and Sophia representing Garden Club. Next up, we have Ms. McLean and Mr. Roche. Mr. Roche actually works with Garden Club as well, but she also is a part of our TSA Club, Technology Student Association, and Ms. McLean will tell you all about it and a cool little visit from our kids to show what they're working on. Yeah, you can go, you can travel, you can go.
Good evening, thank you for having us, we appreciate it. This is TSA, Technology Student Association, and we have 25 students, our biggest team to date for Oasis. They're competing in 21 different events, so our young people are doing a variety of really cool things, and next week they head to Orlando for their competition. One of the things we wanted to show you today is one of the events is Inventions and Innovations, and I would like to introduce you to the team captain, Merrick, who is going to start out, and then I think they're going to demonstrate to this, and Mr. Roche, you can't go too far, demonstrate how this works, and they will be showing this and competing with this model next week against thousands of kids in Florida.
Hello, my name is Merrick. I'm Reagan. And I'm Faith. We're part of the Technology Student Association, and our event is Inventions and Innovations, and we are going to go to the state conference in Orlando, Florida, right by Universal. And for our event, we have to make an invention or innovation, and the theme is to make your daily life easier. And we made an automatic chicken feeder, and that may seem kind of odd with the theme making your daily life easier, but it turns out a lot of people actually do have chickens. So how it works is there's this kit called Hummingbird Microbit Kit, and you can code it to do certain things for you. And we programmed it to turn a position servo every few seconds so that we can show you how it works. Of course, in real life, it would be open longer than that. So what you do is you click the switch, and there's buttons back here on the back, and you click button A, and then it opens, and then it closes also. And we made our own hinge, since it is a curved surface instead of using a already made hinge. And that's it.
you have some questions for these young people, and or maybe what other types of events they might be interested in, or what they're doing at the conference besides inventions? Anybody interested?
And
Questions?
I was going to start with one, and that was a great intro. What other events can we expect our kids to be a part of?
These are events that they're in.
Oh, actually, the three of them, right?
I'm in Inventions and Innovations. I'm also in Video Game Design and Mechanical Engineering. I also have CAD and Digital Photography. Of course, I'm in Inventions and Innovations, and I'm also in Forensics, which is crime scene sort of things.
Nice.
Great. Thank you. And what kind of an impact do you think this innovation can make?
Since many people have chicken feeders, the problem with that many people having chickens and chicken feeders, you'd expect there to be some common complaints, whether it be attracting pests, not being able to hold enough food, or other things. And this solves many of these problems by being automatic. So it can hold 10 cups of food. It opens automatic, so you don't have to worry about wasting food, because chickens can't overeat, but you don't want them to eat just because they can. So then being automatic solves that problem also, and it'll be good because it solves problems by being closed. It doesn't also attract pests also.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Mr. Arnie.
Can you, awesome, by the way. Can you, what happens at these events? I mean, you guys all sign like non-disclosures? Because I'm sure this is a pretty cool event. I'm sure there's some scouts, if you will, or soldiers, whatever you want to call them. Like, how does that work?
I don't know.
Right?
We take our chances.
But I could look it up though.
Actually, I do have a question.
Let me add one last thing as far as TSA goes. The boxes that Ms. Kepke was referring to, Mr. Cerny was instrumental in training two of our students that are doing construction challenges, their event, into how to use the miter saw and how to cut the wood and get everything. And they built 5 of those boxes in an afternoon that we got out of school early. So thank you so much for that. And those boys were so proud of themselves.
I have a quick question. As part of developing all these inventions and stuff, at some point do you actually try and get a patent on anything? Do you come up with something new?
Let me just add, this is the first year that we have worked on this together, and this is all 25 of our students' first year. So we'll look into that. That could help finance a new wing here.
Question. So to do these projects with the Garden Club as well, is there a sponsor that you have to fund these projects, or how do you get the money for it?
For these?
Both types, I suppose?
We had a volunteer donate the supplies to support that, and then, of course, our foundation helped us in building that and bringing out some help to do that. So that was a huge support. I'm not sure we would have been able to do that, and that's an event that those boys are going to be competing in as well. And it's just a great thing after Hurricane Ian and the damage that happened in the garden, so the boys were really happy to be able to help out their school. That's a good question.
Also, I'd like to say to Ms. Sophie back there, with Merrick, Reagan, and Faith, it's hard to do public speaking, so I commend you all for coming up here and doing this. You did a great job.
Thank you very much.
All right, good job, guys.
Thank you all for representing. You are going to represent us so well in Orlando. I'll be up there to steal ideas. I mean, watch the stuff that happens. I think it'll be great. You mentioned funding. ESSER funds have been helpful. I've devoted, I think, $10,000 to building our clubs and having materials for the different clubs, and some of we still get to use, so there's still money available. And we do clubs based on any interest of students. So today someone comes and says, and it just happened recently, I want to start a chess club. All right, let's find a sponsor, get a sponsor, and now we have a chess club. So they can take off immediately, quickly, and we're able to take care of the supplies and materials, at least for now. All right, that's all I have. Thank you all, appreciate it.
Thank you for having
Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a great night.
Thank you. All right, now we have our superintendent's report.
Okay, I have a couple of interesting updates for us this evening. Some that we've been waiting for. I'm going to start with our project updates. I sent an email to the board last week that Train is coming to install the coils finally at Oasis Elementary North. They're in, almost all the parts are in. They're going to go ahead and install, anyway, I think there's a casing that goes around the coils that's coming in, and they'll install that when they can. So the scheduled day for installation is this Monday, which is a holiday. You do have to bring in a crane. It's going to take a good part of the day, so we'll get that done when there are no students here. They'll come back on Tuesday with full-blown air conditioning. So we're delighted about that that's getting done. And that was quite the project. And a very expensive project at that, I do have to say. Our second project has to do with the playgrounds. Mark Mason found us a project manager with the capital development division, I'm assuming. So now that we have a project manager, we have the cost that's been approved by the board. We can go ahead and issue those purchase orders. We have procurement, the procurement department just checking the wording for approval, and then we will piggyback on a contract that, well, the city, it's a vendor of the city. So it makes it very easy for us to move forward, and we will do that this week. The portables. We have issued a purchase order. When I say we, I mean the city. It's been issued for $1.2 million. The PO is going to serve as a notice to proceed to initiate formal shop drawings for the fabrication of the units. Now, we've picked out the little details about floor covering, exterior coverings, trim, all that's done. So this is one of the final steps that has to do with the fabrication of the units. And additionally, we're waiting on engineered drawings from Q Grady. That's our engineer on record. They're going to finalize the site plan for permitting with the city. Once we receive the site plan permit, then we can initiate a formal invitation to bid to select a general contractor that will do the portable installation and all the associated site work. Site work is the electrical, the plumbing, the drainage, the irrigation, all that. So we are moving forward with all three projects, I'm happy to say.
Great.
As far as my next item on my agenda is PR and marketing. I talked to Dr. Minaya recently about the fact that why our public media stations, our print stations, why are they not picking up on all these great awards that the charter schools have received in the course of the last couple of years? We've received 2 Cognia distinctive awards, and now our ITEA awards. And so we decided that we would go ahead with Spiro Marketing and Advertising. We're going to give them all the information that, all our press releases that we've sent out. We're going to give them local links to the different venues that are giving us these awards. And we're going to have them put together a news release so that we can send them out to these stations. And I think what they're telling me is that they have these long tentacles for public relations, and they can garner, or they can kind of guarantee that we'll get some kind of cooperation from these news outlets. So we're going to see how that goes, because I think when I talk to people locally in the community, they're surprised that they haven't heard of these awards. They're surprised that nobody knows about these great awards that we are receiving. And we just want to get the word out there, not only for enrollment purposes, but also for the recruitment of teachers and staff. I think this would be a great location and environment in which they would like to work and be a part of. So that is in the process. We do have a PR marketing budget. We will use some funds from that line item to pay for these press releases that are going out. Also, I'd like to let the board know that we received a letter from the Joint Legislative Auditing Committee. They are very simply asking for an update on a corrective action that is being taken to resolve the audit finding from the 2021 audit report. Now, we went through something kind of similar last year, involved FRS, but what our auditor is telling us is that was a little bit different. That was a finding that was not corrected for 2 consecutive years. This letter is asking us to just give an update on the finding that was had in 2021. And that's what we're going to do. And Mark's office will come up with the verbiage for us. We'll submit it to the Lee County and to the auditing committee, and we'll proceed from there. The finding was about financial records that were misstated. The auditors proposed adjusting entries to correct the financial statements, and they also recommended that management enhance its review over the financial statements and supporting schedules to ensure the information is accurately presented. Okay, so we'll get on that. We'll get that out as soon as we possibly can. The deadline, I believe, is March 3rd, so we have time to respond. And it's not something that we're worried about. Okay, I wanted to let the board know and our audience that last Friday I attended the 2022 Industry Appreciation Awards, hosted by the Horizon Council, Lee County Economic Development, and the Horizon Foundation. It was a 500-person event at the Calusa Sounds Convention Center. They awarded 6 different awards in a variety of areas. They celebrate Lee County businesses who basically drive the local economy. So it was very, very interesting. And I'm proud to say, it was a very proud moment for me, that Manaya Learning Global Solutions received the Inclusion and Diversity Award for Lee County. So congratulations to Dr. Manaya and to business partners as well. It was very impressive, and I'm glad I went. And I think it's something everybody should go and be able to enjoy and see what's out there in our local community, because there are some really innovative companies that are driving what we do in the county. Okay, and lastly on my report, I wanted to discuss survey information. We did a recent, very quick survey to our teaching population and to our administrators and our office staff. We wanted to get an idea of the service levels of some of the departments that the city's providing: custodial, maintenance, IT, finance, and HR. And generally, we found that employees were very positive with the levels of service they're receiving, in particular the response times. And what we found that there is quality of service issue with custodial, and I have been having discussions with our custodial liaison, Aunt Andrea Allison, and also Damon, and we really think that it has a lot to do with the number of employees that we have in custodial. We probably could use more. So this is an ongoing conversation that we've had with custodial, and I think what we're finding are trends amongst schools. The common areas are the areas that really need to be consistently cleaned. I think it's more about consistency in cleaning. Vacuuming every day, dusting is not really happening. Things that are very easily correctable. And those are the things that we'll address with those departments. And if we need to, we can put the frequency of those types of cleanings in a service level agreement if necessary. We've also found issues with building maintenance and upkeep. And what our teaching staff don't understand is that's for a variety of reasons. A, we never had proper funding to make some of those major improvements. B, we had a lot of damage from the hurricane. And those hurricane issues have not been addressed yet. We just had FEMA come in last Saturday, and they're coming in next Saturday to assess the damage. And once they can assess the damage and record the damage, at that time we can file our insurance reimbursement claims. So it's a long process. But there are some things that we can work together to work on. There's some confusion still as to whose responsibility it is to maintain. Is it the city? Is it ours? So we're going through those processes, and we're trying to figure it out as we go. We're working on our budget now with Cassandra Penner, our budget analyst, and she's helping us to resolve some of those questions. Who does it? When do we do it? How does it get fixed? So really and truly, we're working towards an end to those conversations and getting answers. So I think it was good to know what our staff is perceiving as what our expectations are in these service level agreements, and I think we can come to some very good conclusions as we move forward. And that's all I have for the superintendent report. Do I have any questions from the board?
Any questions?
We have a scheduled meeting on March 3rd with the city and the city departments of the city, Connie Barron, and also the mayor to discuss service level agreements.
and how we should move forward with those agreements.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Mons. All right. Now we have the city manager's report represented by Mark Mason.
Actually, we don't have one tonight. Everything is all good. I do have Damon coming up here. He's going to give you a quick update on the Charter School North and the air conditioning systems. Come on up here.
Oh, sure. I was going to come up and give something to Jackie, but I'm always happy to come up and say a few words. So, yeah, what I was coming up actually to give to Jackie was we have two projects, both good news. Oasis Elementary North is the one that Hurricane Ian damaged, and we had the coils blown out, and we've been had the huge cooling tower and the generator, and it's been a long process. Then we had the little small one-ton units inside the classroom that have been noisy, and we're trying to move those around to keep the target air where we need it to be. That is being cranked in tomorrow at North, and then here at Oasis Elementary South, just next to us, we're having a compressor replaced to keep up with an HVAC issue that we've been having problems with for a long time. So we actually have two problem childs going away this week. One, the big one north, and then on the 20th, the rooftop unit here. So that's where we sit with HVAC, and you know, like the superintendent mentioned, that we're going to work together on these service level agreements. There's something we can always work towards. There's going to be, we have 1 year under our belt, and I was telling Jackie before the meeting that I'm actually, after 1 year under our belt, lessons learned, where do we sit with custodials? It's been a real chore to try to keep the number of custodians employed all together at the same time. We're having a lot of turnover, a lot of issues retaining the proper people in the proper location. So it's kind of good that Mark's standing here, because what he'll see in the my budget in conjunction with the school's budget will be a request for 2 additional custodial staff members. Whether we get that or not, I don't know, but it sure would be nice. So that's what I had to say about the HVAC stuff, and if there's any other questions while I'm up here for maintenance, I'd be happy to field any questions. Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Other than that, I'm all good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Mr. Chair, just a quick question. And just the superintendent, actually, has the staff been informed at OAN that there's light at the end of the tunnel with regard to the AC issues?
Yes, they
I'm sure
have.
they'd like to hear that. Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
As well as the portables.
Yeah.
All right. And I think from a chair's report, again, it is always so incredibly energizing to be here with you, to be here, you know, where the real action is. And sincerely, feel free to come up to any one of us if you've got suggestions on how else we may be able to improve. That's the real reason we want to ensure that each year we're at least at your school at least once. And thank goodness over the last few months we've been here. This is our second time. So it's good. We love coming here to be with you. And just a quick note about the inventions. Henderson Franklin is a law firm here that has an intellectual property division. Mark Needs heads it up. He would be happy to share what happens when you do create like a good patent. He can share with your students what that process looks like, and happy to make that connection. Yeah, thank you. I think things are. I think Mr. Campbell shared a couple months ago. He said, after all the hurricanes he's been through in Louisiana, he said the real tough part is 3 months, 4 months, 5 months after the hurricane, because that's when you know you're still in it. Some of our folks are still working through all of those issues, and that's when, you know, your energy level just in spirit can continue to get drained. And we went to that event on Friday, and a lot of folks were there that had, you know, their best face on, but when you chat with them a little bit, they're still going through some incredible times. So So again, it's just to be aware and how else can we, support some of our other community members that are still facing some very challenging times. And council, you want to give us, because that was great, council.
That was good.
All right, well, thank you. So that was the chairman's report. Foundation report, Mr. Cerny.
Sit here, or should I just yell?
Where you're comfortable.
I'm comfortable anywhere. I can't hear out of one ear, so if I yell too loud, just see if it comes down or something. It's like 3 days I'm here from one ear. Gary Sardine Foundation president. The people doing well. And we have some, we kind of took about a month and a half, 2 month, not hiatus, but a big break. We did have a couple of board members, multiple that had some severe damage from the storm. And kind of like you mentioned, it's, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop for me. I'm not the worst off. And so we did lose one board member, Gail Hawthorne, who's, done a lot for us, and she's a good friend, and she just had too much, just too much. Flooded the house, had to move out, all that stuff. And then Chris DeMoya's house actually got pretty wrecked too. Anyway, just to throw that out there. Anyway, but she's staying on board. So a couple things. So, but we're back in the swing of things, and we are actually doing our planning. So aside from our regular, the first thing I want to mention is aside from our regular, not hearing out of one ear is really, really obnoxious. Aside from our regular year-round monthly educational classroom grants that we do all year long, some of you may know that, some of you don't. We were able to open up some sports and club grants because we had some, I don't want to say extra money, but we had money that we could let loose. And so we recently awarded over $12,000 for clubs and sports in the school. Had a lot of applications. That money went in one meeting, which was the point, I think, right? A lot of good grants, like Mr. O'Brien, Coach O'Brien had actually really, just really well-written grants. We had, you guys want to hear what we granted? Yeah. Let's get sprinkle some fairy dust on, right? So we got the football team blocking sled. That was like right around $2,000. It's a need, so we're happy to do that. The gym score table, are you guys familiar with that? It's a $3,500 piece of equipment, but you know who sees that is everybody that doesn't actually go here, which is great, right? So all the sports, whether it be volleyball, basketball, cheer, anything. That's where you get all the other, it's kind of a secret recruiting tool, really. Plus, we just look cool. The gym looks great. The shark tank looks great. The table looks bad. So this is going to help. So very happy to do that. That was $3,500 that we gave towards that. Girls basketball, full set of uniforms. Boys varsity soccer, full set of uniforms. Football, the cheer actually applied for this, but for the football game day banner, those things where they run through and it's like Velcro and they can reuse it. It's actually like $2,000 over $2,000. I was a little surprised, but apparently that's the going, So they can use that for other sports as well, of course. And then dance team uniforms, $1,000. And then what's kind of cool is Miss Altini. I don't know if you guys know her. She's a phenomenal teacher at the elementary school. She just applies to grants and we just give them to her half the time because usually they're awesome. She restored the butterfly garden, after the hurricane, which is cool. So that was $1,000. So that's a little feel-good thing. So any questions about any of the sports grants? Okay. Then the events that we have planned, we're doing the party. Last year we kind of did our typical rally, which is our biggest fundraiser of the year. We kind of split it in half because for a number of reasons. But this year, this school year, we're going to stick to just the party, and we're going to actually push the rally to fall for many reasons. A lot of people are a little overwhelmed. There's definitely a lot of damage. Stuff like that. So we're going to do our party event, which was actually a huge hit last year. All 4 schools performed there at different times. 5:36, 6:37. The flyer went out in the emails. I probably don't need to go over all that stuff. But it is on March 10th, 5 to 9 p.m. at Tropical Breeze Fun Center off Santa Barbara.
And we're already getting sponsors together. I know Samantha's working real hard. I keep seeing texts on our little group text that more and more. I actually got one literally while I was sitting there, which is, I love that. You know, people are reaching out and giving money. That's awesome. And there's also an online auction, which I think last year just off that we made 18,000 maybe just off that auction, just off something like that, 16 or 18, somewhere in that ballpark.
Plus.
Yeah. So, but this year we're inviting. Well, I think we've always invited them, but we're making it a little bit more official. We're inviting all the sports and clubs to just come in, and if they want to take part in that auction, because it gets a lot of visibility, I think Jen Hope just sent that email out today. So just so you know, there's opportunity for any club or team that wants to make some money, they can, and it's already a proven platform, so come on down. It's all your money. You know, we allocate. Jen is our treasurer, and she's very good at, you know, getting all these sub-accounts, you know, making sure that we're keeping track of the money real well. So, you know, you raise the money, you get the money back. And for anybody that does finance, we do typically do the purchasing. So they just tell us what we want and then what they want, and then we buy it for them. So we don't generally cut checks to keep things, you know. But anyway, sorry, I know this is a long report, but we have a lot of good stuff. And let's see, the rally on the green, postponed to, Lighthouse Awards, that's a big one. So we do have our list of finalists. So that ceremony or banquet is April 21st at La Benzia Ballroom. Again, there will be more correspondence in the form of email, and you know, and you're all invited, by the way. Please come. You know, I think generally speaking, you do. We've had years where most of the city council shows up. We've had years where a couple do. So hopefully we see all them too. It's a really good positive event. And we moved it to La Benzia initially because the yacht club was not going to be open, and then I think it'll be great. It's just something a little different. And we also, so do you guys want to hear the teachers that are nominated?
Yes.
All right. Oasis High School, Kristen Alley, Jennifer Masawi, and Alyssa Troy. By the way, these are all, for those of you that don't know, students, parents, peers, they all vote on these. You know, this comes from a real, you know. So OEN, Stephanie Lockhart, Christina Ryan, and Ashley Toney. And at OES, it's Viviana Aguilera, Michelle Conticelli, and Gina Fury. Gina Fury again, she's awesome. And then for OMS, Adriana Follacy, April Gibson, and Anna Martin. So congratulations to those teachers. And again, hopefully everybody comes, and we will. We're going to send out an email probably. I think probably in about a week or two with the ticketing information. I was actually up at 1 in the morning trying to get our e-commerce working to get on the site, but we'll get our ticketing going, and you know how it will work. Is the finalists get a certain amount of free, you know, entries. Every staff member gets in. All the teachers and admin get in free, but then you pay extra if you're not on this list of teachers that got nominated. Everybody pays $25 to go in. It's $50 a plate, so I mean, it's just, you know, we had to do what we had to do. It's a really cheap night for $25, I promise. That's yeah, always have to celebrate the teachers, and then the last thing. Can I just name our board members, because we actually do a lot behind the scenes. Kind of proud of that, very proud of that. So there's me, Gary, but then there's Jen Hope Bellis, our vice president. If you don't know who she is, yeah, you've been living under a rock, because she's involved in just about everything. Just a doer, though, really good soul. Jen Hoagland, our treasurer right here. She does not like attention, but we love her. She's awesome. Chris DeMoya, secretary and grant coordinator. Her company, by the way, was responsible for fixing the Sanibel and the Pine Island Bridge. Just want to throw that out there because they were doing that while they had to move out of their house. So this is the kind of stuff that people go through. And some people may not know that because other companies take credit. I won't even go there. Okay, Samantha Richardson, Heather Dinkle, and Dina Pollard also. So They just work really hard. We're just trying to make the world a little better place. Any questions?
I have a question or comment. Thank you, Gary. We appreciate what you and the foundation do. We really do. I think that it's amazing how you can precisely infuse money into our school where it's needed. We find that hole that's needed. And there's no bureaucracy, you just get it done and get it going. And I think people really enjoy it. And I think because of the foundation, you raise the benchmark of our school. I think it's achieved well. So we really do thank you guys for that.
Thank you. Thank you. Try to do as much as we can with little. Thank you. Thank you for that. I did have a question for Mr. Mason. Sorry not to put you on the spot, but because I have a very vested interest in it. What's going on with the field? Is that RFP due in March? Is that what it is? Is that still a...
Yeah, I mean, it's in the budget, and we'll be doing a RFP for design services. Did anybody hear that?
Yeah.
No. This is really, really low.
Is this a really bad microphone?
Yeah, so we'll be doing an RFP for design services for the field. That's what was budgeted for, was just the design, until we know what the cost is, and then we can do something about that then.
Sure.
And it's just not a field, it's actually more than that. It's you call it, it's not just a football field, it's
track.
No, it's a lot more than that. So we'll be looking at a lot more than just a football field.
Thank you. Just curious. Any other questions?
Yep.
Just a comment. I want to thank you as well. Congratulations to the teachers, the finalists. I was able to volunteer a little bit of my time, and I reviewed some of the candidates and what the kids said, and what the. I mean, I don't know who was parents. I don't know who was nominating, but it was so great to read what they said about the teachers. And thank you for those grants. As a former teacher, I know that it's all about resources at the end of the day, right? And making sure that they have the resources, the hands-on activities, all of those materials that they need to really make learning engaging for them. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great.
Any other questions?
All right, thank you.
Thanks for enduring me for 12 minutes.
That was perfect. Thank you. All right, we had staff comments, unfinished business. Is anything on unfinished business you want to share? We got the budget workshops. That's it?
Yep.
So we've got those scheduled now. Any questions on the schedule?
You're going to put out an official meeting notice for those?
Official meeting notice for the budget workshops?
Well,
We have to vote on it.
We'll vote tonight? Okay, so we have to vote on these tonight, and then we can have an official meeting announcement. So any concerns with the dates?
These are right before the scheduled governing board meeting, and they're an hour before.
I appreciate that.
Okay, right before the governing board meeting. Okay. All right, would someone like to make a motion to accept the dates?
Motion to set the dates for the budget workshop.
Second.
Second. All right. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, great. There's something related to unfinished business, and I think that was just about Amendment 26, and when do our terms finish up? Just wondering, would you like to comment on that now or at the next meeting?
Thank you. The recent revisions for Chapter 26 did not change anybody's term, except for the City Council member. What it did do is it affected or it changed the chair when the board selects its chair and vice chair. So those dates switched from
April to November.
April to November. Current chair, there's a provision in Chapter 26 that all board members may continue to serve until a replacement is selected. So if the current chair and vice chair are content and the board is content, there's no legal reason to make a change at this time or in April. It would just, if there's no objection, roll until the new time period specified in the revision.
The the terms of the other board members stay as is, as they were?
The other board members' terms was not over, were not over.
Great, thank you for that clarification. All right, any new business? Nope. All right, on this Valentine's Day, final board comment?
No comment.
I don't have the microphone, but I can project. I am so happy to hear about the air conditioning. I know that I've been listening and we've been hearing reports, and that has been definitely a struggle. I know you guys worked so hard to get us there. I know the teachers are going to be thrilled. So this is some awesome news. And just so I can understand, the new air conditioning should be working when they come back on Tuesday. Is that what we're thinking?
I can respond to that. Danny Gray for the record. So Oasis Elementary North, when they come in tomorrow, crane up that new coil system, they're going to try to keep the temporary system running until the permanent system can be installed and pressurized, and then they'll begin to put permanent conditioned air in. So there shouldn't be any bit of a noticeable difference. So we're going to try to do that during school hours. We can always keep the 110 units in the classroom just in case, but we're hoping for the best. The 220 gate will be for the Oasis Elementary South, right next to us to the north here. That is a compressor we've been struggling with. It hasn't been able to provide consistent air. It's going to be replaced on the 20th while school is out for President's Day.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I just want to echo what Keisha just said. Just all the updates today were wonderful about the portables and the AC and playgrounds and all that. So thank you for all the teamwork.
Yeah, it's already been said, but I want to thank Gary, Jennifer, all the board members again for the support through the foundation. So it's just amazing. So I appreciate all you guys do, and I love your energy.
Hey, you guys did.
So you good? All right, well again,
Thank you for being here on a Valentine's evening and for the great updates. And thank you for Oasis Middle School hosting us. You're doing some great things here, so it was just a blessing to see that. And with that, we will adjourn.